Good morning and welcome to the City of Chester Council meeting for Wednesday, April 23rd. As always, well, I guess we should first say that we just had an executive session on, what would that matter be described as?
Legal matter.
A legal matter, thank you. As always, we're going to start with an invocation today. We have, offering the invocation is Overseer Barbara Hobbs from the Church Triumphant Ministries of Claymont, Delaware. Welcome. All rise.
Let us pray. Father, we come in the matchless name of Jesus, the only name wherein there is power. And we come first of all, God, to thank you for another day of life. Hallelujah. God, we take nothing for granted. We thank you that we are clothed in our right minds. God, we have the activity of our limbs. We have what we need. And we bless you for it. Father, there is so much going on, so many things that we need to pray about. But we thank you that even in these uncertain times, you are a certain Savior. We thank you that you know everything, you see and you hear everything. So we come today, God, asking if you would lead us, if you would guide us. We thank you for counsel this morning. We thank you for the citizens of Chester. God, we thank you for this opportunity, God, that they may come and dialogue. God, we pray now in Jesus' name, oh God, that you would give direction. We ask, Lord, that you would allow all things to be done decently and in order. God, put us on one accord this morning. Let your peace abide in the name of Jesus. Father, we come praying, oh God, for the city of Chester, praying for Crozier, and praying, oh God, for Taylor Hospitals. God, we need a miracle. We need a miracle, God. We come, God, because you are the only miracle worker. God, even in the 11th hour, you can still do it. And so, God, we don't know what to do, but as Jehoshaphat said, God, our eyes are on you. We ask even now that you will continue to have your way in this meeting. This is our prayer, and our souls say amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
I
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Madam Clerk, let's do a roll call.
Councilors Gibson Williams,
Present.
Green,
Present.
West,
Present.
Davis,
Present.
Mayor Roots.
Present. Is that working? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of April 9th?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. Minutes have been approved. Thank you. It is time for public comment for agenda items only. The agendas are out there on the table if you didn't get one. If you didn't get one before you came in, please grab one on the way out. It's time for us to share any old business or new business. Anything, council?
I would like to just recognize the City of Chester. I had the opportunity to attend the Pennsylvania Municipal League. They had a conference last week, and I did get a chance to attend that, and they honored the City of Chester. Currently, they are in over 1,100 municipalities throughout the state, and the City of Chester is one of the founding members. It's 15 founding cities, and the City of Chester is one of the founding members, and they just celebrated 125 years, and so they did honor us with a plaque stating 125 years, and also an award for the City of Chester. And out of the 15 founding municipalities, Chester was the only city there last week to accept the award, and I was honored to be there. So I just wanted to say thank you and congratulations to the city as being one of the founding fathers of the Pennsylvania Municipal League. And I accepted this award on behalf of the city, and it was a great experience, so thank you.
Well, thank you for being there. Anything else, council? All right. I want to recognize our newest employee here with the City of Chester. Her name, for those of you who, she sort of needs no introduction, but her name is Crystal Burrell. Come on up, Crystal. So Crystal, I'm sorry, I'm not sure the exact name of your position, but it's going to come up pretty soon. But we just want you to introduce yourself to the community.
All right. Good afternoon or good morning, everybody. I'm sorry my back is turned. I think that's super weird. I'm going to be you guys' new Parks and Recs coordinator for the City of Chester. Like he stated, my name is Crystal Burrell. For those that don't know me, I am a long-term resident of the City of Chester. I am also an entrepreneur in the City of Chester. I'm over 10 years event planner, so I'm super excited. The Parks and Recs department is super excited for this season, for our events. So please come to me if you guys have any ideas for programming, anything like that. I am super excited to be here. And thank you guys. Thank you, council.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm sorry. I think she's on a part-time basis for now, right? Yeah, so, but what's really important about that position is that's the person who puts together the programs, you know, with our recreation department. And when people talk recreation, they usually think kids, but, you know, older kids, teens, young adults, and seniors need to recreate as well. So to have somebody who's committed to the programming end of that is really important. It's something we've been missing around here for quite a while. We do have a few people in our, and when I say few, other than those that are out in the parks, you know, cutting the grass and keeping things nice, we only have 2 people inside. One of them primarily is handling all the permits, and the other is really focusing much of his time on facilities. That's Mark Alexander and Miss Tanya Johnson. So now we have somebody who can really just focus in on programming, and I will tell you, Miss Crystal Burrell is a fabulous event planner, so anything that we do moving forward is at least going to look good, start on time, and have good food. So really appreciate that. Councilman.
I just want to say congratulations to Crystal Burrell. I've known her for quite some time. I actually used her to plan all of my events. She's a great event planner, and I think she is going to be an asset to the City of Chester. And I think all of us can agree that we need more recreation in the city. And it's great to have a brilliant mind like hers with new vision and new ideas that will really enhance the recreation in the city. So I just say congratulations, and we welcome you here with open arms. And we look forward to seeing some of the great work that you're going to do here. So thank you and welcome aboard.
Madam Clerk.
Resolution. The Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby promote the following individuals from the position of patrol officer to the position of corporal and/or detective, Chester Police Department, effective April 28, 2025, with a 90-day probationary period at the salary range as provided in the annual appropriation ordinance. Number 1, Leon Mack. Number 2, Mark Barag. Number 3, Brian Berger. And number 4, Kevin Schiller.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Oh, that's your job. I'm sorry. Taking her job.
Councilors Gibson Williams.
Yes.
Green.
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Mayor Roots.
Yes.
Mayor,
Oh.
if I'm correct, you want to swear in now?
Yes, we're going to swear you guys in, all 4 of you. So let's go, Commissioner. Show us how to do it.
good morning, City Council, Mayor, and family and friends. This is a proud moment for me. Please excuse my voice. The allergies are winning this week. This is a proud moment for me, but because I've seen these officers transition to leaders. I also told them we're not going to be too sappy today, so I'm going to just start with it. Officer Mack, front and center, please. I, state your name,
I, Leon Mack,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania
and the Charter of the City of Chester,
and the Charter of the City of Chester,
and that I will discharge the duties
and that I will discharge the duties
of the office of police officer
of the office of police officer with
fidelity.
fidelity and that's it.
Officer Mark Barrett. I state your name,
I, Mark Barrett,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania
and the Charter of the City of Chester,
and the Charter of the City of Chester,
and that I will discharge
that I will discharge
the duties of office
the duties of office
of police officer
of police officer
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Charter of the City of Chester, and that I will discharge the duties of the office of police officer with fidelity. Congratulations. Officer Kevin Sheeler.
That's a future cop there.
Got the haircut already. Yes.
I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Charter of the City of Chester, and that I will discharge the duties of the office of police officer with fidelity. Congratulations. So we're going to start, since Sheila was last, he can go first to speak to the community. Just introduce yourself to everybody and let them know what I already know.
Morning, everyone. Thank you very much. I've been a police officer here for almost 17 years now. I just hope that I can live up to the standards that we have and continue to help and guide everybody in my way. Appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity.
Good morning, everyone. I'm currently in my 11th year here in Chester. I've learned a lot from the city, and if you don't recognize me, that's because I work overnight. So that means you're a good person. So, but I'm looking forward to continuing my career here and continuing to make friends and family in the city of Chester. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Brian. Going on my 8th year in December. You guys welcomed me with open arms when I came in. I'm a Jersey kid, but I've become part of the community, and I absolutely love it, and I look forward to continuing my efforts in the community.
Morning, everyone. My name is Mark Barrick. I've been in Chester for about 17 years now. I'm really looking forward to bringing a new leadership to the police department. mentoring our newer officers and providing a role model to the city. I love the city of Chester, and I look forward to taking on a new role as a supervisor and hopefully soon as a detective. Thank you.
That's all we got.
So it's not very common that we have that many corporal detectives promoted at the same time. We had some promotions, retirement, had a detective get picked up by the county detectives. But what that proves is that there's 4 patrolmen no longer serving on the streets. So that means apply, 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 apply. If there's ever a job opening that seems to always exist here in the city of Chester, it's as a patrol police officer. So apply, 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 apply. I was involved in the interviews of these 4. Wow, did I learn a lot. They were fascinating, impressive, surprising. I have to be honest here. I went into it thinking that I was selecting one, forgetting that there were four persons who passed the test to qualify to interview. I forgot there were 4 openings. So I got to interview 4 people, and there's 4 openings. The worst thing that could have happened was somebody was so bad that I'd eliminate them, and that wasn't the case at all. So what you're getting is, as you heard, over 40 years of experience out in these streets as a Chester police officer. That brings a lot of value. When they're needed to be out on the streets, they will be. When they're needed to be detectives, they will be. We're just excited to have you 4. It was a real pleasure meeting you for that half hour or so that we went through the interview process. It was eye-opening for all of us who interviewed you and the union rep that sat in with us. Very impressive group, very impressive group. Let's move on.
So, Mayor, before I begin, if anybody is deciding to leave,
Thank you. If there's any family members who don't want to stay for the rest of the council meeting, this is your chance. This is your chance before the officer locks the door. Officer McLean?
Don't lock the door.
Thank you for.
yes, because what's going to happen, they're going to move.
What's that?
That's what Ari Marvin said.
What's going to happen? I'm going to start reading, and everybody going to start moving.
Yeah.
Thank you to the family for coming out and supporting your own as well.
We really want to get it out.
He was ready.
Yeah, he was.
It's like, when can I get up? Especially if your children
Oh, my God.
can see it,
Yeah.
be a part of that.
One kid is gonna be a problem.
Absolutely.
You ready for it?
Yep.
Clear the room out.
McLean. Can you ask them but to keep their voice down because it's going to travel in? Thank you. Thank you. Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve. Is that better, Justin? Yes. Okay. That in accordance with recommendations of the Chester City Planning Commission dated April 9th, 2025, and reviewed by the Delaware County Planning Commission on April 17th, 2025, it does hereby grant final approval for Jeffrey Then and Liza Morales to consolidate 2 parcels located at 1301 Honan Street. Parcel number is 49-11-02590-00 and 0 Keystone Road. Their folio number is 49-11-01744-00 in Chester, PA 19013, into 1 parcel as shown on a plan prepared by H. Gilroy Damon Associates Incorporated, located at 1343 Chester Pike, Sharon Hill, PA 19079, dated February 25, 2025, conditioned upon addressing the remaining comments of the Colliers Engineering and Design Review Letter dated April 4, 2025, and the review letter from the Planning and Zoning Director dated March 31, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Gibson, Williams.
Yes.
Green.
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Mayor Root.
Yes.
Resolution, whereas the City of Chester made a request for proposal, RFP number 2025-004, for the Summer Food Services Program, with responses due on February 10, 2025. And whereas the City of Chester has complied with all pen bid use requirements. And whereas the sealed quotes have been tabulated with no discrepancies found. Now therefore the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby award the Summer Food Services Program to Walnut Street Deli in the amount not to exceed $18.50 per unitized meal. Volume of meals will fluctuate week by week. A summer season cost estimate would be $67,839.50 based on last summer's 2024 volume of 3,667 unitized meals. Further, said contract is contingent upon final review and approval of the city solicitor.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments? I got a comment. In 2022, when I came on in council as the Director of Recreation, the Chief of Staff at the time, almost on the day I took office, said, you've got 2 things you got to start early, and that's get the summer food program going and get that pool open. And that's where I learned how involved the summer food program is if you engage with the Pennsylvania Department of Education summer food program. That year we did not have a summer food program because of primarily the food supplier, the person who was making the lunches for us, who we had used for several years prior, just went out of business a month before the program was supposed to start. As we struggled, myself, the solicitor's office, to put out an RFP to find another food provider in such a short period of time. The only one that we found was up in Norristown. I think it's a YMCA. And I didn't want to take the risk of having to transport meals from Norristown to Chester, knowing that the Blue Route is the way the Blue Route is. I took a lot of heat for not having a summer program. I was called the guy who's starving the kids in the summer, but I could justify my decision because it would have been a poorly run program overall. And because of that, I kind of been hands-off over the last couple of years with regard to the program, the summer food program. One thing I'm going to let you guys know, next year, we are not going to be putting out a contract or putting out a bid for summer meals to cost $18.50 to create. I mean, most of us can go out to dinner for $18.50. This is no reflection on the person who won this bid at all. He just responded to a request for proposal. Thank God he was the only person to respond. So good for him. It's a Chester person that we're really fond of, who does a lot for the city of Chester. And he's going to be delivering those meals for us this year. But the reimbursement from the state for every meal that's given to a kid in the summer food program is about $5. So the city is literally supplementing each meal with $13. And that shouldn't be the way the program works. So we're going to be a lot smarter next year and try to get close, prices closer in line. What I really expected to happen when we put the RFP out was that the school district would pick up this contract because they make these meals anyway, according to the same specifications from the Department of Education, but they did not bid, to my surprise. So that's all I have to say to that. Last year, I think we paid $17 a meal. This year, we're paying $18 a meal. That's a lot of money for food that a lot of these kids are not drinking the milk, throwing away the apple and the carrot. But our kids want to eat and need to eat in the city of Chester, and we're going to make sure that they do eat in the city of Chester. There's other ways to do it than participating in the Department of Education's summer food program. And that's what we're going to be looking at a lot earlier this year. And with Crystal Burrell back there as our program manager, that's going to be one of the things that you're going to be tasked with helping us with. So we're going to start a whole lot earlier next year. We're going to make sure it's a lot more affordable, and we're going to make sure a lot more kids get involved in this program, because the idea that the Pennsylvania Department of Education has is they want to feed in the summer every kid that gets free lunch during the school year. And they know they're nowhere close. I think they said like 18%. They're about 18% of the students that get free meal during the school years get summer food. I'm not convinced that because of the bureaucracy and because of all the red tape you have to go through to work with the Department of Education, I'm almost convinced that this community can come up with another program that's a lot more affordable, that can feed a lot more kids. So that's what we're going to be looking at next year. But for now, Madam Clerk?
Councilors Gibson Williams?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Mayor Roots?
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby authorize the proper city official to prepare the specifications to advertise on pen bid for a multiple prime contract for the construction of the Public Works Garage, salt shed, and parking canopy to be funded by the American Rescue Plan Act, known as ARPA, project number 27, with an expected completion date of no later than December 31st, 2026. Further, it does hereby authorize the city clerk to advertise the notice of the aforementioned bid.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Gibson Williams?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Mayor Roots?
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby approve the submission of grant application to the William Penn Foundation for approximately $2,500,000 for the purpose of reducing environmental burdens within the City of Chester, with the funds to be used to support lead risk assessments, lead remediation, and air quality initiatives. The grant requires no monetary match from the city. Further, it does authorize Mayor Stefan Roots or his designee to execute the aforementioned application and other necessary documents for and on behalf of the City of Chester.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? I'll make a quick comment. I am so excited to see that we're applying for this grant. The William Penn Foundation is a huge foundation up in Philadelphia that traditionally only supports Philadelphia-type initiatives. They actually recommended that Chester apply for this grant, and thanks to Health Commissioner Motley, Dr. Motley, we're applying for this grant. We're applying for 2.5 of the $4 million that's available in this grant. Philadelphia and Camden are also encouraged to apply. But more importantly, it's just great to see that William Penn and other foundations like Lenfest and Pew, who have typically not even looked our way, are starting to look our way. So this is something to be proud of. I hope we get the grant. All this does is authorize us to move forward and apply. Madam Clerk?
Councilors Gibson, Williams.
Yes.
Green.
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Mayor Roots.
Yes.
Resolution, whereas on or about Monday, April 21st, 2025, Prospect Medical Holdings and its affiliates advised on the intended closure of the Crozier Hospital System beginning at 8 a.m. on Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025, to include emergency medical services, which is known as EMS, within the city of Chester, which threatens to cause injury, damage, or suffering to persons and property of the city of Chester, Delaware County. And whereas this closure threatens to endanger the health, safety, and welfare of a substantial number of persons residing in the city of Chester, Delaware County, and threatens to create problems greater in scope than the city of Chester, Delaware County, may be able to resolve. And whereas pursuant to the authority vested by 35 PA CSA Section 7501B and Chester City Home Rule Charter Section 304, the mayor is authorized to declare emergencies, and because of the severe effects anticipated on health care and emergency services throughout Delaware County, the city of Chester wishes to mitigate the adverse effects on the city of Chester. And whereas the city intends to activate the response and recovery aspects of all applicable local emergency management plans, and to authorize the furnishing of aid and assistance to its citizens where necessary thereunder. And whereas the declaration of an emergency authorizes the city to enter into contracts and incur obligations as may be required as part of the emergency management response and recovery. And now therefore, I, as the duly elected mayor of the city of Chester, formally declare emergency under the city's homeroom charter and 35 PA CSA Section 7501 to take all actions as may be authorized without regard to time-consuming procedures and formalities prescribed by law pertaining to the performance of public work, entering into contracts, the incurring of obligations, the employment of temporary workers, the rental of equipment, the purchase of supplies and materials, and the levying of taxes and the appropriation and expenditure of public funds.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Gibson, Williams.
Yes.
Green.
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Mayor Roots.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. This is time for reports. Are you going to ask Andrew to come up? He first, and next the chief. Anybody else? We have any reports today, Chief? Any department heads? Go ahead.
At this time, I am going to ask Andrew Heyman, the director of L&I, to come up and give some updates and reports on the department and our efforts to make Chester a better place and cleaner, safer, and remove these abandoned cars. And
Before you get started, I just want to remind everybody that he is interim, working directly with the Department of Community and Economic Development here in the city, specifically in the area of license and inspections. There's been no there's been no department that has been commented on more than license and inspection. So as we transition to a new director who will be starting soon, he has stepped in the interim. He's had a lot of experience in this area. He formerly, or he moved over from being Director of Public Works, where he's done a great job there.
They took him from me.
They took, yeah, we snatched him. But the guy has a lot of skill sets, and L&I is one he's been itching to work on, so we let him loose. And what you're going to hear today are the results of what can happen when a department like license and inspection, one that's vitally important on so many levels in this city, is led by somebody who knows what they're doing. Go ahead, give it up.
Good morning, Council. Mayor Roots, thank you for having me. And I spoke at our last meeting with some statistics about the month of March. Can you hear me now? Sorry. I have allergies. It kind of, if my voice sounds different, that's why. I spoke at our last council meeting about some of the statistics, updates from the month of March. I'm going to go and discuss those again, discuss some statistics from the month of April so far as of this morning, and I'll also give some comparison to previous time periods, and then just discuss a couple other activities going on in the department so that you and that the community is aware. So in the month of March, we had 57 violations that were identified by the department for the month of March. Of those, 11 were stop work orders, and then various other violations for trash or high grass, bulk items on people's properties, abandoned, I believe we have one abandoned vehicle. So far in the month of April, as of today, we have 101 violations for the department. I believe only 22 were issued in the month of March, so we're at 101 issued so far, of which so far at least 23 stop work order violations have been issued. That's for work being conducted without permits, but potentially in an unsafe manner that can endanger residents. We've also, in partnership with the police department, public works department, towed at least 16 vehicles as of the end of last week from Chester-owned properties or CETA properties. These are abandoned vehicles. But that 16 number, just to compare, the department only identified 17 total vehicles or 18 total vehicles over the preceding 15 months. So we've gotten 16 off of these properties that were towed in the last month, but that number does not count the dozens of vehicles that were towed from voluntarily by residents or by businesses who had these vehicles, dozens of vehicles. I can't quantify, but by my estimate, I would guess between 70 and 80 that have been towed from various properties across the city. But this is something that's an ongoing project. That segues into my next comment. Starting today, as of right this morning, these abandoned stickers, I'm going to hand this up here if you want to hold it up. These abandoned stickers are going to be going on abandoned vehicles all across the city. These are vehicles, in some cases, that have been sitting in locations for years. This is a warning to residents, please move your vehicle. If you need assistance moving your vehicle, there are instructions on that form of how to contact us. They'll be given a deadline, and obviously we're working with residents to assist them in whatever way that they can. But ultimately, the goal is to issue hundreds of these over the next few weeks. Hopefully we can accomplish that. So we also yesterday sent out a notice to all rental property owners who have delinquent rental license and registration fees who haven't paid. I think I mentioned in the last meeting there are about 5,700 of those in the city. Of course, they're being paid every day. That number has come down somewhat since the last meeting, but it's representing about $1 million in revenue for the city that has not yet been collected and is currently delinquent. Hopefully, we had a lot of compliance and everyone gets up to date with their license, rental license and registration fees while staff conduct inspections. And that's all I have today. Does anyone have any questions for me?
That's a lot. And I appreciate what you're doing. You hit the ground running over in L&I, but that's how you are. That's you. Andrew, Mr. Heyman, is not from Chester, but ever since he's been here, how long you been here about? How many months now?
10 months, I think, tomorrow.
10 months, and L&I about, what, 2 weeks now?
We're at 3.
3 weeks?
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in a short period of time, he's done a lot of work over in the L&I department. L&I has a lot of challenges, and there's a lot of work that goes on in L&I. And I'm sorry, Councilman, I don't mean to be stepping in your lane, but I'm just amazed and happy to see all of the work that Mr. Heyman is doing and your passion for the city. I appreciate it. You know, we have conversations all the time, you know, and his main focus is how the city is looking. I know a lot of you are unhappy with the way that the city looks, but it takes people like Andrew and us to work along with them, because if I have trash on my property, I'm going to make sure that I get it up. That's the way we all should be, you know. But I appreciate all that you're doing for Chester, and I look forward to continue to working with you when you come back to our department.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I really appreciate that. And the only place I want to thing I want to challenge here is that this is, this is the fantastic work of our staff, and it's the fantastic work of multiple departments and my predecessor. This work I would not be able to accomplish. We would not, as a team, be able to accomplish this much if it wasn't for the hard work of my predecessor, Nikki Davis, but also the team of people that work under me. I can't do it alone, and I'm not doing it alone. And again, our police department, our public works, and even our parks department. This is a team effort. We're cleaning up dump sites. We all are, I think, are working pretty well together. I think that the city has a great team of people, and I feel very optimistic. I appreciate the patience and support that I've encountered from members of the community. I know this is tough. It takes, I would guess, it takes a long time to get out of the problem that this city is in, but I believe, I have no doubt that we can, and we are going to. But it will take a lot of time. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you again. And I just want to say we're going to really paint the city with these. So you guys are getting ready to see this all over the city. And I just want to thank you for the efforts that you and the team is doing. And I get a chance to meet with the team every week in Andrew. And, they are really working out there. And you can see in the numbers. We started this initiative last month, and with it was 50-something last month, 100 and something now, and we're not even at the end of April. And so the numbers will continue to go up, and we'll continue to do what we can to try to help improve this city. And so, again, if you see any violations, please report to the city, whatever you can. And as you can see, people are reporting because the numbers are going up. So the community is speaking up, and continue to speak up, continue to report these issues, continue to report abandoned cars. If you see dump sites, trash, whatever you see, whatever the city needs to be on top of, please report it. Because they're out there every day, but they may not see it. They may not come on your block directly. So if you report it, then we can go there and we can address it. So continue to report it. And thank you, Andrew.
Thank you so much.
And one final comment is thank you for mentioning the partners in the various departments who make this happen. You did forget one partner, and that's the communications team.
That's true. Absolutely true.
There you go. And they're really important because one of the stats that you gave, you kind of mumbled it out there, but there were, by your numbers, at least 70 to 80 vehicles that were moved because they were warned, if you don't move them, we will.
Absolutely.
We, as much as it makes sense what he just said, we want to see these numbers continue. We want to see the violations identified. We want to see the stop work orders when it's unsafe, out there. We want to see rental. We want to see landlords paying their rental registrations. Ultimately, we want these numbers to come down. But it's going to take the effort that's going forward right now to let people know that we're serious, to put out the public service announcements, to put on day glow yellow stickers on people's car, and soon coming down the pike, I hope I'm not too premature, but you know where I'm going with this one, Commissioner. We're having our patrol officers go out on the street with parking tickets like they used to in the past. And if you see a car on the sidewalk, 2 wheels on the sidewalk, 1 wheel on the sidewalk, double parking illegally, they're going to be ticketed. They're going to be ticketed. So the tickets are being printed now, I believe, right? We're looking at like 1st of May-ish or first week of June. Okay. So let this be your warning, and let this be an announcement to the public. Police officers will be issuing parking tickets again. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
more presentations over there? You got trophies? Got any medals?
Not today.
Gold rings? All right, I think it's your turn. Thank you. Ooh, we got a list today. It's public comment time. As you know, I'll call your name. You come up to the microphone, speak as loudly as you can. You get 3 minutes. We prefer public comments to questions, but that never seems to happen. So let's start with Nasir Jihad. And the Jawala Scouts. Love you guys.
I want to say good morning to the mayor, to council,
Morning.
city of Chester, community, family. Just as he said, I'm here really on behalf of the Jawala Scout Program. The Jawala Scout Program is an Islamic Boy Scout program here in the city of Chester. We've been here for over 27 years. We do the same thing the Boy Scouts do, you know, camping, fishing, boating, except we incorporate religion, teaching the children how to pray, you know, learning the Quran. I was here last meeting where one of the elders in the community, she's alien and passed, and asked that we get more involved in the community. And me coming here last meeting, it just revived. It was good to see the people is out in our community, is trying to better the community. Because it's on all of us. This here now is not a black or white thing. This ain't no Christian Muslim thing. This is for do the right thing. Because we see a lot of wrong that's going on, not only in the city, but throughout the world. So I'm just coming really to step out on her request, and it, like I said, it touched my heart just to be here at the last meeting. So many people here. We trying to do the right thing, and we should encourage each other. Because like I said, it's past all that black or white, Muslim, Christian. Man, they don't care. They just doing stuff wrong. And it's going to take all of us. It's going to take all of us to step up and try to do what we can. And, you know, they know me on the youth. The children are our future. We got to give them nourishment. We got to guide them. Do what we can. Because soon they'll be taking all our places. All our places. For all our days going to come. We need to work on them now. I don't want to hold nobody up. I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hopefully look to see you.
Thank you.
I like to say that I've watched you for maybe 1 or 2 years, and I so appreciate what you are doing with our young people. They are disciplined. I've never seen kids stand still at a park when all the other kids are moving. They're very respectful, very helpful. So all that you are doing or incorporating into our youth in the city, just know that you are really appreciated, and I see you, and I appreciate you.
I used to be a Cub Scout. They're great organizations, Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. Got any Eagle Scouts in here? Nobody? Okay. We got to get one of those. Jawala Scouts, though, they're special. They're really special. I visited them at the masjid about 2 months ago, was it? Oh my goodness! What a delight to see the Chester group joined by a group that came up, correct me if I'm wrong, from Atlanta, and a group that came down from Philadelphia. There had to be 80 young people between the ages of probably 6 and 17, 18. Just like you said, Council Lady, just totally respectful, totally receiving what the elders, like Brother Nasir and his crew, who have spent decades working with youth. It's he's walking the walk. Everything that he said up here is exactly what they do over there. So when you see them out in their green shirts with the white print, know that you're looking at a bunch of young kids who are getting a fascinating start, particularly young men who are being guided by serious black men, making sure they at least get off to a good start. We know that things can go off the rails really quickly in our communities, especially as they get a little older. But what I saw that night was how much respect the young people had for each other. And you just don't see that often. So keep up the great work. I really appreciate it. Ms. Haley? Haley, I never pronounced your last name right. See, I would have got it wrong again. Jurena. It's with a G. That's what always gets me. Jurena.
Good morning, everyone, and everyone behind me. This is weird, Crystal, talking this way, but everyone's that way.
You're speaking to us.
Okay. Well, good morning to you all.
Good morning.
My address, 314 East 24th Street. I am on the Chester City Block Captain Committee, and our Block Captain program is having our first community cleanup this Saturday at Chester High. So I just wanted to invite everyone in this room, all around, and tell your neighbors, tell your friends, bring everyone out. All supplies will be provided. It's age inclusive. My son is 5. He'll be there helping out however he can or providing entertainment at bare minimum. We also just got our official affiliation with Keep PA Beautiful, which was really exciting. So they put it in their newsletter, a press release is forthcoming. But yeah, so we have an official affiliation, Keep Chester City Beautiful, and we'll be doing monthly cleanups through the end of the summer at various locations. We actually have intentionally not chosen the ones for the rest of the season in hopes that our block captains, who will be, who we're accepting rolling applications for right now, can help us determine which areas in the cities to tackle first. So get involved, and we hope to see you this weekend and later this month, or later this year. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you did pick up this color flyer with all the events, it's on the, let's call it the front page, the one with the Chester logo, top row, right in the middle. Earth Day cleanup at Chester High. So it's the kickoff of the block captain campaign. Thank you to the committee for putting it together. It's really great to finally see this thing rolling out. Great that the Keep PA Beautiful has locked in with us. So that provides resources for cleanups. And we're going to be connecting with, you know, the local hardware stores, our friends down the street, ReWorld. There's a lot of local companies that would also, who are also looking to kick in to help keep Chester beautiful. So thank you. Mr. Cotman. Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor, Council.
Good morning.
Couple different things real fast. One was, I want to address, well, I'm not going to address it, I want to put it out there. When it's talked about the summer food program, when you first came here as councilman, I was one of the companies that was, businesses that wanted to do it for free for the summer food program to give back to the community. Last year, it came down to me submitting an application for $11 for a meal, and I was told that I was too low. This year, I'm getting told I'm too high, but on PenBid, it gives us a number of the range that they needed to be in. That's why my number was the number it is. That's part one with the summer food program.
Well, let's address that. I didn't say you were too high. I said you answered the RFP.
But you said $18.50 was a lot that the city is not receiving back. That's why I'm addressing, saying what was said. That's what you had said.
Well, that's what we put out there, and you responded to it.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Well, okay. So, okay, we're gonna move.
You didn't make
forward
that price. We did.
Okay, but the way it was presented, that it was a high number. And
It is.
that's why I'm saying.
$18 for a box lunch is a lot of money.
It is, and that's why I said, when I seen the number that y'all had put on in bid, they had us in a number area of saying, this the numbers you had to be within 60 6,000 to 70-something thousand.
I'm saying we're not going to do that again.
Okay.
All right? Congratulations, you got the contract.
Thank y'all, Mayor, and City, for coming out for our Easter egg hunt down Sun Village this weekend. We had a great time down there. Again, we have Team Stride with partnerships with other organizations, have a lot of different things that we're doing within the city. We also will have in May the 3rd, I would hope y'all could come out to the Keystone Center. We have 20 slots for youth to do painting with a twist. That's our new thing with the youth. We have 20 slots from 12:30 to 3:30, to 3 o'clock. So please come out. If you know any kids that want to do it, because we get a lot of kids that want to do face paint, that want to do painting, please come out, sign them up, and we will be out there. Like I said, Team Stride is going to do a lot of different things with the community. We have the Ball Against Violence, June the 7th. Like I said, we have a lot. Please come out, help us support the community, and we're out here for y'all. Thank you.
Is that Keystone First on West 9th Street?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
May the 3rd, from 12:30 to 3.
Mr. Cotman is a walking event calendar. Got a lot of stuff going on. I did attend your Easter egg event. I'm going to tell you there were a few upset people, but I'm not mad at you because you said it starts at 2, and them kids went looking for eggs at 2. So when them parents start walking up at 6 after 2, 10 after 2, they were like, it's over? Oh my God. But there was still a lot there for them to do and enjoy. But I don't know if you heard, but there were some angry parents at 5 after 2. Be on time. Thank you for what you do. Is that Lawrence Ham? Oh, there he is. I didn't see you sitting there. Look at you, light bright.
37 West 8th Street.
Yep.
Pennsylvania. So I'm disappointed I can't ask no questions, Mayor.
Well, it depends on what the question is, but this is public comment.
Okay.
But if it's
all
questions
right,
to a
okay.
particular
Well,
department, all our
you know,
department heads are
I'm
over
new
there,
here.
so we might
I'm
direct
new
you
here.
over there.
I like being a person of protocol, so maybe the next time. All right, I'll ask some questions. Maybe I'll just set up a meeting with you.
No, if you have questions for any of our department heads, they are always present. So,
Okay, well, I just had questions to the agenda.
go ahead. Let's go. Your time's counting down.
Boy, I thought I got away from this 3-minute thing. The resolution concerning the declaration disaster, that pertains to Crozier situation. Okay. Elaborate on that, possibly, because that is really the big, elephant to me here in Chester.
Gotcha. And that's a fair.
Yeah.
We should expound on that a little bit.
Yeah.
If it's up to me to do it, it's going to take 10 minutes. But Chief, I think you can do it very succinctly.
Stop the clock, please. Thank you. Oh, y'all, who's the clock operator? You? You the man. I'm watching you. All right. Huh?
So this is for everybody present.
Okay.
What does the emergency declaration with regard to this Crozier situation? What does it buy us? What value does it have? Why did we do it? Was it necessary?
First of all, the county has encouraged municipalities who are impacted by the Crozier closing to include a disaster declaration. Normally, disaster declarations are for natural disasters, hurricanes, wildfires and things like that. If, in the unlikely event, there's a potential disaster declaration, that goes to the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency. If you can determine that there's a significant cost as a result of the disaster, they can then appeal to the federal government, to FEMA. And then if there's a presidential disaster declaration, it provides funding opportunities. I think it's going to be a stretch to have this as a disaster declared by the federal government. I don't think that's going to happen, but it sets the stage for that. In the event there's some decisions that need to be made from a procurement point of view, it gives the mayor the authority to do so without following procurement processes. That's not anything that we have scheduled right now or anticipate doing, but it provides us an opportunity to potentially give federal funding. If you ask questions, start the clock again.
No. So you're gonna get all that money we need to keep
There
it
is
open?
no money.
No.
There is no money.
No.
Okay.
There is no money. Explain it again, please.
Yeah.
It's
Layman's,
in
make
the
me
event
understand.
that there's a federal disaster, or if there's economic damages as a result of this, you can apply to PEMA, who then applies to FEMA. FEMA is the Federal Emergency Management Agency. I don't think it's likely that there's going to be federal funding available to remedy the situation. This is not to keep the hospital open. There's nothing we can do about that.
What is it to do then?
It provides the opportunity, if funding becomes available through the state or through the federal government, it then, because of the disaster declaration, we would then be eligible, if that happens. I think that's a very slight opportunity that might happen, but it makes us eligible for funding.
Y'all know better than me, but this is a disaster.
No question.
I don't care what level you want to put it on. So, okay, I applaud you, Mayor, for doing that. I look forward to however this is going to pan out. As you know, as a community, how this is going to affect us.
Yeah,
how it already has affected us.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that clock has started. So that's the one question I wanted to ask, just to come in on that.
Good. That was a good one.
I got this money for cars. Are we aware of this? The city of Chester going around solicitation. Money for cars was on my vehicle. Okay. We're not aware of it, Mayor?
I haven't seen one.
Okay.
I mean, we see money, we see cash for houses signs have been around forever.
I'm just
People
saying.
love to be predators in our town.
Everybody come and take. No, my mind went to, what's the gentleman's name? Mr. Heyman. Mr. Heyman, who was in charge of the abandoned thing that's about to happen. I associated it with that because I read it in the paper. Okay, and I'm like, well, money for cars, this is the initiative. So I was wrong.
Oh, you think that's from the city?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
Okay, so I'm just alerting everyone, whoever is around soliciting. And I didn't call the number, but I will, But it's a situation that happened to me, which got me here. I have a vehicle, because I live in Holy City. I basically parked somewhere, and my other car was there. I took a picture of my white car, and I'm like, this car is not abandoned. That's where my mind went, that this car was designated. So my key question is, what's the process of determining what a car is abandoned? Is the police running the tags, whatever? Is that protocol put in there? Because that's necessary.
Okay, we'll bring
In
them up.
the case of this initiative, certain vehicles may be designated abandoned that may not be abandoned.
Mhm. I got you. They'll come up we'll hear first from Andrew and then the commissioner, because there are two standards that come out of each department. Go ahead.
So basically the way this works with enforcement, public vehicles that are parked on public streets are handled by the police department. So I won't speak to that and how Commissioner Blackwell addresses that. But for vehicles parked on private property to be determined abandoned, we're citing two different laws essentially that govern the city. They're both listed on the abandoned stickers which have been placed. If a vehicle is abandoned, it's got an expired registration, it's got flat tires, it's not drivable, it's got broken glass, or some combination of those things. I would say that there's enough low-hanging fruit that I've directed my staff to focus on the most egregious cases. We do recognize that there are people who might have a vehicle, but we're not looking to target vehicles parked in driveways that are, maybe they need an inspection or they need some work. Those are not the lowest hanging fruit here in the city of Chester. And just to address something that was said, that I've never seen one of those, and that has nothing to do with this department. Certainly nothing to do with the city of Chester. So, but thank you for making us aware as well.
Thanks. So again, his department, L&I, primarily private property or city-owned property. CETA has a lot of lots around the city, and they may look, well, they do look empty because they are. We can snatch those right away. If a private property owner comes to us and says, I've got this lot on such and such a street and cars are being parked on there, with their permission, we can go get them. And like you said, the low-hanging fruit are the ones that you just drive by and you see them sitting on flats, again, on private property now. What the commissioner is going to share with us is what happens on public property.
That's correct. On public property, in the state of Pennsylvania, all vehicles should have a valid registration.
Ooh, before you go into that, kind of explain what public property is. Give us some
Oh,
examples.
public property is anything that is accessible to everybody in this room, not up on someone's private driveway, not in somebody's backyard. Something that we all have accessibility to. However,
So the streets.
yes, the streets.
Sidewalks.
Mm-hmm. Street sidewalks, anything that's not considered somebody's private domain. With the initiative for the police department, our criteria is, again, if your vehicle is not properly registered, proper insurance, or expired inspection, your vehicle will be tagged, and you'll be given 7 days. Unlike the city, our tag is orange. So that's going to kind of have you understand who tagged it. It wasn't the city, the Chester Police Department. You have 7 days to either move the vehicle or get the vehicle properly registered, insured, or whatever have you. But now, if you're talking, the mayor mentioned vehicles on flats and broken windows, and that's what we call hazardous. So that can be hazardous to anybody that comes in contact with it. So we can tow that right away. Yes. Yes, flat tires, broken windows. The unfortunate, flat tires. The law is the law. Flat tires, that's correct. Now, again, to the public. There you go. That's how I was going, I was going to get you on that real fast. Yeah, but unfortunately, now, if you think about it, would you rather have 7 vehicles on the street and everybody got flat tires and they're thinking the same way as you? Taking up 7 parking spots. Correct. Correct. But what we need to know is, as a city, it makes our city look bad.
Yes.
It just makes our city look bad. Where else are you going to go where you can drive past vehicles with broken windows?
Yeah.
They've been in accidents and they just park them on the street. Where else? No, I'm just, because I want people to have a better understanding. This is not something like a money grab for the city. This is not what this is. This is trying to regain our beautiful city back and take pride in what we have going on. If we don't have pride in it, nobody else will.
I'm not taking your time.
Mm-hmm.
That should take a little problem. My question was answered on this alone. That's all. I don't know who this was, whatever, and I was just out of order in terms of that.
That's all right, but if you want me, I can look into that. If that vehicle was towed?
No, but again, not because solicitation.
Yeah.
It's not about tone. It's almost like, I don't know, I'm a call them.
I wouldn't. That's a scam.
That's
I
a
just wouldn't.
scam.
Yeah, I just wouldn't.
Yeah.
Don't even waste your time.
All I'm saying, but I'm educated, I'm okay.
Mhm.
Okay, I applaud the initiative.
But I was talking about the note that you have. Was that actually on the vehicle?
Because see, what happened was, I parked my car, I'm driving my truck, I parked my car.
Okay, hold on. We're not going to go into your details.
I'll speak to him.
Come
I'll
on.
speak to him after. Yes.
Let's talk about what we're going to do about cars that park on the sidewalk, whether it's all 4 tires, 2 tires, or 1 tire.
Those are going to be parking tickets. We're not, you can't go anywhere else and you see that and it's acceptable. So 2 tires, 4 tires, whatever it is, it's not supposed to be parked on the sidewalk. You're not supposed to obstruct the sidewalk. People shouldn't have to walk in the street because vehicles are parked on the sidewalk.
And can you repair your vehicles on
No, you
city
can't.
streets?
No, ma'am. You can't repair, service, or use city streets for storage for businesses. You can't.
And the garages who have their cars lined up and down the street waiting to be fixed, is that permissible?
No, ma'am. They are not supposed to do that either. That's considered using the city streets as storage.
Thank you. I know that, but I just wanted it, because that's been my beef for past 16 years.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, so the beauty of this is that we all know what's right and wrong. It's just a matter of having the manpower, I was almost said a bad word, and the moxie to enforce it. And we're just sticking our chest out now and letting the community know we're We're coming. It shouldn't take long for people to start making adjustments. Like if we crack down for a few months, might take 6 months, might take a year, people will start acting right. So that's the objective. I like how you said that we're not trying to be punitive. We're not trying to, fine people. We don't want to get into that type of a situation where it looks like we're just being petty out here. We're going, as Mr. Heyman said, we're going for the low-hanging fruit, the easy ones, the ones that are just blatantly violating. If you have a flat tire, to your point, and we come back 2 weeks later and you still have a flat tire, that's a problem. Okay, we're not just going after every flat tire in the city. You can almost tell how long a car has sat still by the amount of debris that gathers, under the car. And there's always the opportunity for recourse. If you feel as though you've been wronged by a ticket, abandoned sticker, or whatever, there is the magistrate judge that will hear your case.
Or if you think your vehicle's been tagged abandoned and it shouldn't be, that's a call to 911, have an officer come out and explain it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. And just really quickly, to your point, in terms of the disaster, it really is a disaster. And the reality is a lot of lives and livelihoods are on the line with this whole Crozier thing. And what hasn't really been discussed, and this may be for the chief or the CFO, how bad is this going to affect the city of Chester financially?
I'm sorry, before you answer that, can we get through the comments and we'll pick this up at the end?
Okay.
All right, so we can just have clear time to talk about Crozier, because I think we should. Let's just go through, we just have 5 more. Ms. Dennis, is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
Council.
Good morning.
And to city residents. I just wanted an update on the Dollar General and the trash, because I haven't seen anything different. They don't have the dumpster out there yet, and the trash is piling up again. They keep getting the trucks in, and every time they get the trucks in, they get these cages, and the cages are all over everywhere. So nothing, I just wanted an update on that. Mr.
What's the
Hammond.
address? Which one?
That was the one at 17th and Edgemont Avenue.
Got that, Andrew?
I think Mr. Heyman was working on that.
Okay.
From the last time. Okay, and I'll connect with him. Squatters. We have some folks that have just started squatting behind that same Dollar General on 17th and Edgemont. So what is the protocol for squatters all of a sudden? I mean, if that was in another neighborhood, there would be a problem. So I'm just wondering, I don't want to get us started, and then all of a sudden we end up with a whole bunch of folks, you know what I mean? They squat there during the daytime. They lay out a big piece of plastic, and they're there. They bring their things in a wagon. I think in the evening, they spend the night at the Salvation Army, but I'm not positively sure. But it can get to be a problem as the weather gets nicer. And my other comment has to do with, there is a motorbike or something that's been sitting in this alley between Arbor Drive and Ginkgo Lane, and that's been there forever. There was some abandoned vehicles there, and somebody years ago, a couple of years ago, one summer, they came and they removed those vehicles. But this motorbike or whatever it is covered with a piece of black something and tarp or something, and it's still sitting there. So I don't know what the story is on that. And those are my comments.
All right, thank you. The motorbike is on the public street?
It's in the alley. It's just sitting there in the middle of the alley, like, you know? And that's between Arbor, on Arbor Drive, Ginkgo Lane, right behind Ginkgo Lane, the house is there.
You got that? Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
As far as squatters are concerned, are they tented or they're just laying out? Okay. So that's the private property's responsibility to get people off their property if that's what they want. And to say that, that people are, your term squatting, I'll use that one, this is the only place that happens. That's far from the case. They're all over the country. It's tough out here. But I also say that more and more, we're finding our own residents finding it difficult to afford what is described as affordable housing in our city, but they don't want to leave the city. On an almost daily basis, we're getting, I guess the nice word for it is migrants arriving in our city. And, some stay longer than others. It's a difficult issue to address. I can't say we're very far along in addressing it, but don't ignore it either. So it doesn't benefit anybody to have strangers just hanging out on the blocks. We see it right out of our office windows over here at the Ethel Waters Park, and every now and then we just got to clear them out because it's park property. But when they're on private property, it really starts with the property owners. So if you, as a private citizen, go to the owner of the store, Dollar General, is it behind that store? I would address it with the manager first. But we can't just snatch up people either. So we're learning from other cities how to handle this, because the extent that it's happening here in Chester, we're going to need help from cities that have been dealing with this for a long time. There were some really tough ordinances that were suggested that we go into regarding just straight up snatching people out of places like Deshong Park and other areas that are public spaces, but we just don't have the appetite for that as it was written. That's all I got on that one. Miss Smith, got your Phillies gear on? Play ball. They've been out for a while. That should be in storage.
Somebody, maybe they'll come through for me. As it was stated about parking, the parking authority that you have now, they need to get some kind of procedures. Because if people come and park in a residential area, you can't come down here every time you got company, but you got to come down here and let them know you got company. They need to put a procedure, and they don't have one as of yet. So I'm just want to say that, because I had a car that's out of commission, had a rental car. They tagged the rental car because it wasn't in their listings. That shouldn't have to happen. So I'm looking for procedures to eventually happen. Okay, now what I want to just say today, I want to just uplift and let everybody know that Juneteenth is coming on the 21st of June at Memorial Park, and you'll get the official flyer as soon as it comes from the printer. And I want to thank your communications person, Adrian Irving, for helping me get the pictures so I can put on the flyer. It's a homegrown Chester performance. Everybody that's going to participate is homegrown Chester. Now, I'm going to let you know who they are today. It's going to be Tyra Starr, a rap group, hip-hop group called CRMC, and OG Hattie. The Raising Cane Band, Kim Fender Gardner, and Jawan Bose. So we have 5 homegrown Chester artists that's going to perform on that day. So you need to get your blankets, get your chairs, come out, rain or shine, and hear. I know you've heard all these groups before, but come in and support that effort, uplifting our own, okay? Everybody else in other areas bring other DJs, and we've had, not DJs, performers from other areas, but we have talent right here in our city, and there's more, but just didn't have enough because of the time constraint. Had plenty more in the pipeline, but the time constraints, you can't get them all. So these are the 5 that will be there, so I just wanted to uplift that today.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Mayor and Council, the city will have a table at the Juneteenth celebration.
Yeah, if you need vendor information, I'm sure it's going to come online. If somebody called me and said it's going on who did or whatever it's called. So just call, get your vendor space, get your foodies out, your beers, whatever, and thank you.
I thank you and the committee and the church for just year after year after year delivering a quality summer event for us in celebration of Juneteenth. I remember when it was at the parking lot across from the church. Now it's in the park. It just keeps growing. 5 local acts is exciting. And it's a full day of fun. There's vendors, there's a big tent if you don't like the sun. And it's always a place where we can have some fun. I can also pretty much guarantee that if you want to have a softball game, the softball field across the street will be ready for play by then. They are skinning the infield now. They're planting grass in the outfield. I would encourage men not to play because it's a very short fence. It's more so set up for girls softball or youth Little League baseball. But I can't help it if a ball goes in the lake. Elizabeth Williams. All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Well, you know, I want
Pull that mic down just a little bit.
You know what I was trying to understand? Why is there no coin on the meters for people to put coins in there? On the meters that y'all have?
The parking meters, the meters are left over from the last parking management company. They should be removed. They're not, I know it's confusing that they're out there, but they should be removed.
Yeah, everywhere I go. At media,
I think what we heard.
Swarthmore.
Well, hold on. Let me answer your question.
People don't want to be. I don't
This
want to
new
be using my
company
card
is not incorporating coin operations at all.
I'm just asking, okay?
No, I'm just telling you why they're out there. They should be removed so there's no confusion. Is that your point?
Yeah.
Now, the reason that
So
we can't or
everybody
haven't
that
removed
come
them is the
down here
last
can
parking
park.
management company has claimed that to
A
be
lot
their
of seniors
property.
don't have the
She doesn't wanna
cards. A
hear
lot
me.
of seniors don't use those cards.
Okay, yes.
Yes. I have something for y'all to think about.
Oh,
As
they
far-
are gone.
Okay. As far as the hospitals.
Well, hold on. I just want to make sure I understand. I was just made aware that the parking meters are gone. Okay, I didn't realize that. And you're asking for them to come back? You would like to see the meters? I see. I gotcha. So,
Without media.
okay, I gotcha. The parking management company that we're contracted with now is not using meters. They're using the barcode, scan it. I know there's certain people that that does not appeal to. It's not easy for. I know there's a lot of people who don't like it.
Yeah, I got another problem.
But I get it. I get it.
The hospitals.
The Crozier
Not
and
just-
Taylor
but-
hospitals.
But what we're dealing with is people think it's just Crozier, and so they figure if they close in Crozier, it doesn't matter because that's a black town. That's where we at with that. I'm bringing it to the point. This is a black town. They don't care whether we have a hospital or not. They don't care about us getting sick, but they used our hospital. That hospital came out of Chester. That's Chester, Crozier, Chester Hospital. It was Chester Hospital when I was there. That's Chester's hospital. We sit up here and we act like it's all right that every day I see something new happening in Chester. They're taking our people that are sick to other hospitals, and how can they get to up there or wherever y'all taking them to? It's not fair. It's not fair and it's not right. And I'm not just saying for the city of Chester, but I'm saying for anybody that needs a hospital, because we're a top #1 hospital. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to let everybody sitting in here, no matter what color you are or no matter what you are, you're going to let them take this out of our area, which is crucial for everyone here. Now, every morning I wake up, I see this $300 million from Walgreens for the opium. Well, you need to get with Walgreens and see if we can get some money to keep our hospitals going. Because I know you're not going to tell me the hospitals did not take care of some of those people that were on drugs. Our hospitals kept them, and the ones that they kept alive.
You got 10
So-
seconds. 10 seconds.
Hmm.
10 seconds. 10
Okay.
seconds.
No, that's what I want you to
That's
do.
it.
Call Walgreens and see what they could do for us. That's what I'm asking you. They the drug. They said they the ones that is paying out all this money because of them. Call them and see. They got those different organizations and set up. See if they can get some money to save our hospital.
Mr. Brown Williams. Got his Phillies hat too. It's a little cool outside.
Well, I rise yesterday for one simple reason. Down by my house, the grass needs to be cut. The grass done started growing. They need to clean up back there. They needed 3 guys back there raking, clean up all the trash back there. And another thing I rise for here, in 1966, when John McClory bring the president here, you are the man. You can call him, he will come.
You want me to bring the president here?
Damn right, when you're talking about that hospital, that hospital, see, y'all loud talking, but this ain't no loud talking. This business, that hospital should be open. Every black man, white man, Puerto Rican, Gentiles should be standing up over there. I was by there over there yesterday. Simple as that. You're supposed to stand up for what you believe in. And just like going to church. A person gets sick, you know, yesterday it was taking them up the temple. That's too damn public for they take the people. I did husband to hug my old man. I gotta get to see his wife. It's a shame. We got a dominant black vote now. When I first started coming to council meeting, 1, Leo Holmes. Second, Jimmy Shop. You hear what I say? And them fellas need to stick together. Y'all supposed to be done call somebody in here. You got a prisoner down here. You got a casino down here. You got a soccer please over here. Ain't no in the hell that hospital supposed to be. Making all that money every day. But if you ask for nothing, nothing you will get. You got to ask for it to get it. Now y'all put police on. I know what y'all did this morning. I don't know. I walk in when y'all do it. That, you don't need no police right now. Oh. We need to keep that hospital open. We don't need no police right now. You got to play them on the damn street, they ain't doing nothing. You got cars parked everywhere. Go down on 9th and Ingham. You got to go out in the middle of the street. I remember they running into my sister coming past there. You know where the cop fell out? That's your fault, you wasn't there. But they run coming out the building. They run into them. There's a lot of things going here in Chester. I've been in Chester a long time. More than most of y'all born. It's a shame the way Chester fought. But John McClory tell us in 1968, he said, if I died, the city will die. And damn, it didn't die. That thing closed up. You know, I ain't buy a pants or shirt out there. Since they put them pocket meeting up there, a little lady, I used to call her a little lady, and her son used to be a police too. You used to write them little $1 ticket and $2 ticket on your gun. Well, you come here to give you your money when you go to Upper Darby to the store and pocket find going in the store. Now, like they were talking about the meters just now by quarter, they don't have that no more in Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., or New York, nowhere. You got to use your credit card. They got a box. They ain't got no meter up, you got a box. I tell you one thing, if you don't put nothing in that box, they put that ticket over in your left side of your window.
You've got 10 seconds, sir.
I ain't talking no time now. That's what's wrong with us black folks now. Talking about time.
I'm talking about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. When it gets to that 6, you're off.
Another thing about this.
You got 5 seconds.
Like the inspectors and stuff in Chester.
Yeah, I'll let you finish your point. Go ahead.
When they come around and do something, like down 3rd Street, highway need to fix that.
All right. Thank you, Mr.
4th Street.
Mr. Williams. Mr. Salim, your turn.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, he can have it. I appreciate it, but I want y'all to do something.
No, I really appreciate you. You do come with.
y'all
All right,
should
come
be
on.
out
Here he
there.
comes. He's going to push you out the way.
try to get somebody in there to keep the hospital open.
Mm-hmm.
Still standing up there laughing. It ain't
Mm-hmm.
no joke.
It is no joke. We're going to talk about that when we close. The one thing you can't neglect is that the hospital went down because it was sold to the wrong people. They stole that money. And it's really tough to get people to pay into something when someone has walked off with the money. It's really, really hard. The decision to be made to bring those people on in the first place wasn't well vetted. It really wasn't. So, the sins of our fathers back in 2016. Mr. Salim.
Yes, please. My name is Amin Abdul Salim. I live 240 Patton Street in Chester. I'd like to share with you very briefly. It's quite a bit. Certainly, trying to get my head together.
Speaking to the mic, please.
Trying to really get my bearings together and all that we're here. It's going to happen that we're going to be clear, but we have to get there first. Old folks say, well, they say, this is a tall order that we have to fulfill, tall order. And we have to come down right to fulfill this tall order. I also like to say to you that, falsehood cannot come at this from before it or from behind it. So this is the order in which we want to get to. This is the order. Old folks also say, they said the child, and they could call this child, they use this language, child don't know whether he's coming or going. So we want to know whether we are coming or going. That's very important. And all this is happening now, you really don't have a good, understanding about whether you're coming or going. We want to get to that. This understanding that God is blessing us with now, and, when we get here, old folks say, now go back and get your family. God will bring us forward. Now, this is not racist mess and all this stuff. God is bigger than racist stuff. So we want to go back and get a people that's going to come forward. Or your Bible mentioned this language. He who last will be first, and first will be last. So we want to get to that position of going back, cultural establishment, of people coming forward, going out with intelligence greater than the AI and stuff that they trying to do. So, and there, if you will, there's some who do not like this and will not like this, certainly not. We are, I don't want to say that, but we are people that's, born from, like despicable, despised, so forth, and we're looked at upon like that. You're despicable, you're despised. Okay, we come through that. We came through that. We're coming up. We're coming on up, going. Inshallah, by the mercy and the grace of our Lord. They think that they will be hurting you, but in reality, they will be helping you. So, with that said, sir, we want to put that in, but this is going to help us greatly. There's quite a bit I want to say, I don't want to but they think that they will be hurting you, but in reality, and they will be helping you. The remembrance of Allah, of God, is the greatest. So this is where we're coming to. Coming to the remembrance of our Lord. So I pray, sir, that we can continue on moving in the right direction. That those folks say, knowing whether we come. I thank you for your time, sir. I thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Salim.
All right, that's it for public comment. We did have a request, I would say, to talk about Crozier Hospital. What I want to do, though, is adjourn this meeting and have that conversation. It doesn't need to be part of the minutes. We're not confined to any time limit. Whoever wants to stick around and chat about it can. So if I can get a motion to...
Well, I have something I want to say first.
All right.
Close out a couple of things. He left the building before I could publicly thank him, but I wanted to thank Mr. Washington, Mr. Randy Washington, for donating a van to the cause of bringing food to our community. I really appreciated that. But I also wanted to mention Councilman Davis and all of the other organizations that had an Easter celebration for our children. The children really enjoyed themselves at all of the different organizations, but Councilman Davis came down and handed out candy to the kids, and they got to meet the councilman and receive their candy. And I appreciate you for taking the time to speak to our young folks and educating them a bit on who you are and what you do. That's really important. A little girl came up with flowers. You missed it. She went and picked up some flowers on her way to pick up some candy for Easter and showed her appreciation, and that meant a lot. So I thank you for showing up, you know, on short notice. It was like, come on, and you was right there. I appreciate you for doing that.
Anything for you?
Before, what else was it? Oh, someone had mentioned something about the homeless individuals squatting. There is a tent community now rising. I don't know if anyone has seen it on the other side of Ethel Waters Park. It's a tent there, it's trash there. Yeah, yes. And so that needs to be addressed. And then it's one more thing. I want to say all hope is not lost as it relates to people caring about the city of Chester. Just this morning, I received a call or spoke with someone that wants to bring 3 doctors here to the city. We'll have more information on that. What I'm encouraging all of our community members to do is on Thursday, there's going to be a meeting here between 6 and 8. All of those who are interested in finding out about the different resources that are available, I encourage you to come out, get that information, and put it back into our community so that those resources that we need can be taken advantage of. That's all I have to say. You all have a wonderful afternoon.
All right.
Yes.
Can we get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Meeting adjourned. I understand Commissioner Shirley has a very succinct report on the ongoing issues surrounding Crozier. So come on up. For those of you who want to hear it, stick around. For those of you who have things to do, meeting adjourned.
I'll just wait for the room to empty out.
Okay. So if you're leaving, let's leave pretty fast because we want to get the lunch.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Will do.
If I didn't go when I did, I wouldn't have made it.
Okay, all right, I'll talk to you. Have a good day.
So if you're not going to stay, please walk outside and continue your conversations so we can get rolling here. I'm going to say it one more time. For those of you who are not staying, will you please leave? Pick up your conversation out in the hallway. For those of you who are streaming and hanging on, just hang on. We're going to have some information shared.
Oh, it's 2 different things.
For those of you who are not staying, please take your conversation outdoors, out the hallway. Thank you.
Mayor, Council, good afternoon. John Paul Shirley, Fire Commissioner. So our update with Crozier, as everyone's aware, Crozier Hospital was set to start closing at 8 o'clock this morning. The ER is on divert, and they are winding down operations. As far as
What does divert mean?
divert, so anyone that shows up to that emergency room, it's my understanding that they will basically stabilize them, but then transport them out. I don't think they're turning people away, but I'm not 100% sure on that. That being said, they do also have EMS units at the hospital to transport any patients that are there. Additionally, Crozier serves as the emergency medical services for the city. They do have ambulances in service right now, and they're actually out on calls in the city. The EMS services, we've been told 2 different dates. May 2nd, they're going to cease operations for emergency medical services, not only here in Chester, but across the county. Crozier EMS makes up 51% of the EMS services here in Delaware County, so there are multiple municipalities that are being affected by it. But we've also heard a date of May 10th. For the last several weeks, myself, Dr. Motley, Chief of Staff Moore, yourself, and the receivers team have been discussing with third parties to provide EMS services for the city. We actually have some meetings this afternoon. What I can say is that we will ensure that there is no gap in EMS coverage in the city. If you call 911, an ambulance will show up. Because Crozier EMS accounts for 50% of the EMS services in the county, we're not really sure what that impact will be once those services are discontinued. It's almost like a domino effect, and especially with longer transport times to hospitals, and then obviously the hospital's capacities to treat those patients. So, we're going to wait to see what happens there. But guaranteed, if you call 911, an ambulance will show up. The fire department is also certified with the Department of Health as a quick response service. We are dispatched on any type of severe medical emergency, but we've instructed our 911 center today that any call within the city that the dispatcher has the discretion to dispatch the fire department as well if they feel it is necessary, especially if there's an ambulance, coming from a little bit further. But the conversations we're going to have this afternoon with some of the potential providers is very promising, and we hope to be able to announce something either by end of business today or tomorrow as to what the EMS services will look like in the city. You have any questions or?
I'll just make a comment that this constantly updated Crozier Hospital situation has been hard for anyone to follow. It reminds me of the first couple weeks of the Trump administration where, there's a tariff, there's not a tariff. People were fired, people were rehired. I mean, you just can't keep up on an hour-by-hour basis. I want to thank you, and particularly Dr. Motley, the teamwork that you have done to stay engaged with every single update from every area has been truly amazing, and the way you kind of dissect it down and bring it to myself and the chief is certainly welcome. But as he described right now, there's 2 dates for ultimate EMS closure, so there's still stuff that's still hanging out there that's not you hear from this person, that person. So it's thanks to you and Dr. Motley for just keeping your ear to the streets and to the different municipalities, to the county, to the state, to the bankruptcy hearings, which are bizarre to say the least.
They're interesting.
Oh my goodness. The bankruptcy hearing, for those of you who don't know, for Prospect Medical Holdings, who owned or owns the hospital, is being held in Texas, and that bankruptcy judge is a piece of work, and I'll say that publicly. Just don't understand. It's hard to understand how all this has come, but it all started in the beginning. Crozier was hurting for a little bit of money, and they sold out to a private equity buyer. In return for selling out, they got a nice big check, and they got a new operator of the hospital. It didn't take much research to see that entity, Prospect Holdings, had probably wasn't the best buyer at that time. They had other hospitals, and not long after buying the Crozier Hospital, they claimed that they were in all types of debt. For the whole while that they've been here, they've literally just auctioned off the entire hospital and the land that it sits on. It's hard, if you follow the money, to not see it go right into the pockets of the 3 or 4 people who are running the show. That's why it's so difficult for a buyer, for a place that's as beautiful, that's well-equipped, that has the history, that has, I mean, everything going for it. What you don't know is that behind the scenes there was nothing going for it. It's worth less than nothing after it's been pillaged, and I don't want to say that other word, but these guys just took all the value out of that hospital. Christiana would love to buy it. Penn would love to buy it. All these places would love to buy it and continue operations. It makes no financial sense for anybody to buy it right now. That's the situation. The best case scenario that we were hoping for is that an emergency room would remain, that ambulance service would remain, that maybe a couple beds would remain. It doesn't look like any of that is going to happen. As a result of that, you know, you just look at what are the priorities. Ambulance service, you know, getting people into an ambulance is going to be an issue, and that's something we're hoping to resolve. Trauma center, they can't do the surgery on you if you're shot in the head. Okay, they can put on a Band-Aid and send you somewhere else. And is there a transport vehicle to send you somewhere else? Where's the somewhere else's? The nearest trauma center is Christiana. I think it's probably the easiest one to get to, barring no traffic on 95. Trying to get into Philly, you know, we're saying a half hour, but we know, you know, you run into a Phillies game, Eagles game, you run into a broke down vehicle, you run into a pothole, you know, Philly's going to be hard to get to. What we're trying to solution right now, and it's a regional solution. It's a multi-jurisdiction, multi-municipality. How do we provide ambulance services? It sounds pretty simple that Chester should be able to buy, or could buy, or if they could buy, get an ambulance, staff it up, and it's Chester's ambulance. That's not the way the system works around here. If we put an ambulance, we're putting it in the 911 system. We can spend all the money to stock up an ambulance, but if Chichester, Boothwyn, Media, if somebody needs an ambulance and there's one available, the 911 system will identify that ambulance as being available, and out it goes. What we got from Crozier, though, was with their body of ambulances, they were stationed right here in Chester. They were parked right at the hospital. So if there was a call, they could get to us quickly if there was an ambulance nearby. And more times than not, there were. It was usually Crozier ambulances that took care of us. More recently, it's been Aston. Aston's coming into town quite a bit. And they've kind of made some indication that they're kind of tired of it, but they can't get away from it. We're the bankrupt city in the county, but we're, along with Upper Darby, the two municipalities that have the most emergency service calls. I think between the two of us, there's close to 25,000 a year.
In the city alone, it's about 10,000.
Yeah, and I think Upper Darby's about 13,000.
Yeah, 13.
So ideally, you'd have ambulances there, ambulances here, and if anybody else needs one, they come out of those two spaces. But as was described earlier, we don't have ambulances, neither does Upper Darby. That's the first need for the city. But the bigger, the one that the hole we can't fill is the fact that there's no place that can equal a 3-minute ride, a 5-minute ride for care. Do we have a helicopter? Do we have access to a helicopter?
We do. Helicopters can be requested through the 911 service. And ultimately, it's the flight crew's determination whether they're going to fly or not. That's solely dependent on weather. But there are air transport services available. Penn, Life Flight, we could request them, but typically when you're looking at those types of air ambulance services, you're typically like an hour out from a hospital. Realistically, by the time that the air service is requested, for an area like here, by the time the air service is requested, the pilots get it, the pilots look at the weather, the flight time, because we also have to set up a landing zone, and you can't just land a helicopter anywhere. You got to have designated landing zones. And then by the time you load the patient and get it on there, in an area like here, we would probably be able to be in the hospital before then. But if there was ever a time that we ran into a situation where we felt that an air ambulance was necessary, yeah, we can call for one.
Yeah, the last thing I want to say, and I do have to go, I'm sorry, is that, no, you have all the time you need. Let me just make this last statement. What's happening now is the end of the road. It didn't start with the closing of Crozier. I got to be careful because I keep calling it Closure Hospital, but the ending of Crozier. This started from the very beginning when Prospect didn't give the Foundation for Delaware County the full $50 million that they were supposed to get. Foundation had to sue for, I think, $40 million of those dollars. What other hospitals have tumbled before we got here? Delaware County Hospital, Springfield Hospital, Delaware County Memorial. Yeah, so this is the last in the line of properties that they purchased that is falling down. You have to question the activism, the advocacy, the gathering of people. Now everybody's out here rah, rah, rah.
We've been out there.
I'm not saying you weren't.
No, I'm not.
No, but I'm saying,
we have been out there.
yes, people have been out there, but the cry right now is the loudest. And when it's over and you're crying the loudest, you're almost crying into the wind. But we're literally out there crying that some business would come into this town and just, into this county, into this area, and do this to us. There should have been a lot of crying out a whole lot earlier. So with that, I gotta go.
Mayor, just real fast too.
Well, it is too late.
The
This thing
HE
is closed and this thing is done. But we can sit out there and cry, but our cries are not gonna bring a hospital back right now. That was the last domino to fall. This will be up here. Again, I'm not done, but you guys can stay. I mean,
need to tell y'all all something before y'all leave.
go to the mic because we're still live
Y'all need
streaming.
to, write your senators, your congressmen, and have Dave Sunday hold that man accountable, the CEO. They need to sue him.
Absolutely.
And they need to freeze his assets.
Absolutely.
Okay? And then the next thing y'all need to do is start holding some of these corporations in this vicinity accountable to start pulling in and giving us some revenue so we can make this right.
I guess we're done.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, that's where that would come up. And then they've been writing to the Attorney General and everybody else. Well.